Okay, today we see the next technique. First technique is levels of stock. Under the levels of stock, there are five. One is minimum stock level. Second is maximum stock level. Third is reorder level. Fourth is average stock level. And fifth is danger stock level. There are five levels of stock, and that is called as the first technique of material management. And second technique is economic order quantity. What is economic order quantity? Economic order quantity means it is the quantity to be ordered once. That means at one time for how many units or how many kg you have to purchase, so as to minimize the cost of ordering. Cost of ordering means the cost related with purchase, and then the cost related to storing those goods. So, in connection with material, there are two expenses. One is relating to purchase and procurement of material, and second is storing of that material. Expense relating to storing the material. Therefore, if you purchase the material, there are three expenses. One is relating to supplier. You have to pay for a supplier. After paying the supplier, you have to bring it to your store. Then you have to maintain that stock. Then you have to maintain the stock. Okay. Therefore, economic order quantity means it is the quantity of material to be ordered at one time so as to minimize cost of ordering and cost of storing the material. Okay. If you orders the quantity of material, that should minimize your expenses. Expense related with material. There are two expense. One is expense related to purchase and expense related to storing the material. So that quantity of material is called as economic order quantity. In other words, it is the optimal inventory size that should be ordered with the supplier to minimize total annual inventory cost. Inventory cost means maintaining the inventory. Inventory means whatever we put in the process. Okay. Then here there are two expenses. Already I told. One is ordering cost. What is ordering cost? These are the costs incurred every time an order is placed. Whenever you place the order, you have to incur certain expenses. The stationery expense is there, clerk charges are there, time spent by the office people is there, then gathering, finding the suppliers is there. Okay, all that. Then after purchase, you have to pay octroi, duties, carriage, like that. All the expenses are called as ordering cost. The examples of these includes telephone charges, delivery charges, then invoice verification expense, payment processing charges. All this comes under the ordering cost. Okay, once you place the order, telephone acceptance list may be there. The supervisor or purchase manager's time will be spent. Then delivery expenses means purchase expenses, invoice verification expense is there, processing expense means for payment of supplier's amount, you have to pay the bank charges, like that. Ordering cost is there. This is ordering cost. The second is holding the cost. Holding cost means inventory carrying cost. It is also called as carrying cost. What are these costs? These are the costs incurred to hold the inventory in the store or warehouse. To maintain that stock in the godown, whatever expenses you incur, all those expenses are called as holding cost or inventory carrying cost. Okay. And these costs may be related with storage space, godown rent, shrinkage. Okay, loss due to shrinkage, loss due to deterioration, loss due to obsolescence, insurance of those, insurance of that property, and property tax, etc. are the holding costs or carrying cost. There are two types of cost related with the material. One is ordering cost, another is holding cost or carrying cost. So whenever you want to purchase the material, you have to give consideration to these items. So as to minimize these two expenses, you have to purchase. That is called as economic order quantity, or it is called as reorder quantity. It is also called as reorder quantity. Remember this. Okay. And this is calculated on the basis of this equation. What is equation? Economic order quantity is equal to square root of 2AO divided by C. Square root of 2AO divided by C. And this may be calculated with the help of table method. And it may be calculated with the help of graph. There are three ways of calculating the economic order quantity. First is equation method, second is table method, and third is graphical method. But only one method I will explain, which is related to your syllabus. That is equation method. In the equation, 2AO divided by C. That is square root of 2AO divided by C. What is A? A means annual requirement. Remember this point very carefully. Annual requirement. Annual requirement. Then O means ordering cost. What is the cost you will incur for placing one order? What is the cost of placing one order is called as O. Then C, carrying cost. What is C? C is the carrying cost or cost of holding per unit of material in a given period of time, in 1 year. What is the inventory cost? Sorry, carrying cost per unit. You have to give consideration that clearly. Okay. First, you calculate the annual requirement. If annual requirement is not given in the problem, monthly requirement is given or quarter requirement is given, half year requirement is given, then you have to calculate what is the annual requirement. Okay, annual requirement is to be taken. Secondly, you have to take the cost of placing one order. And thirdly, you have to calculate carrying cost per unit. Per unit. Sometimes they will not give you the direct amount. At that time, sometimes they will explain in percentage. They will express in percentage. Then you have to consider in calculation of per unit. Okay, this is the point you remember. With this equation, you calculate the economic order quantity. This is the second technique. And third technique is inventory turnover ratio or material turnover ratio. What is inventory turnover ratio or material turnover ratio? Inventory turnover ratio or material turnover ratio defines as how many times the entire inventory of the company has been issued to the production department during an accounting period. Means in one accounting period, how many times the entire stock in the godown, entire stock kept in the godown, issued to the production department. Whether the total stock filled in the godown, is issued only once. Sorry, only one means it is required for only 1 year, or it is required for half year, it is required for quarter or month. How many times you issued entire stock? Entire stock means how many times you have to fill. Remember this. How many times you have to fill the godown in a year? In a year to provide material to the production department. How many times you have to fill your godown in a year to provide material to production department? Whether one time filling is enough or two time filling is enough, three time filling is essential, four times filling is essential, that is to be determined. Okay. Suppose once you fill the material in your godown, how many days that will be available for use to the production department. On the basis of that, you can take decision regarding the material management. Okay, that's why I'm telling you have to calculate the material turnover ratio. Material turnover ratio means it is defined as how many times the entire inventory, entire material of the stores has been issued to production department in accounting period. It shows how well a company manages its inventory level and how frequently a company replenishes its inventory. Okay, how many times you have to replace. This is the inventory turnover ratio. This is calculated on the basis of cost of material consumed. Cost of material consumed, total consumption of your production department. Total consumption of your production department. It may be monthly, it may be yearly, based on period you have to take. If the information is related to annum, per annum, you consider 1 year. If the information related to monthly information, you calculate monthly calculation. So you take the consumption cost of material consumed by the production department in a given period and divide by the average stock. Average stock, you will come to know the material turnover ratio within a given period, how many times you have to fill the material. That will be ascertained with the help of this equation. Okay, material turnover ratio is equal to cost of material consumed divided by average stock. Okay, then how to calculate material consumed? Here there are two aspects. One is material consumed, cost of material consumed. Another is average stock. These two are to be calculated well in advance. Then you apply the equation. Okay, material consumed is equal to opening stock of material plus purchases minus closing stock. Okay, material consumed is equal to opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. Apply this equation and calculate the material consumed. And then next is average stock level. Sorry, average stock. Average stock is to be calculated on the basis of minimum level plus maximum level divided by 2. This is the one way. Otherwise, you calculate average stock based on opening stock plus closing stock divided by 2. These two equations are available. Out of these two, which information is available to you people, on the basis of that you calculate the average stock level. Average stock level. Okay. After this you have to calculate material turnover index. Material turnover index means it is the index in days or months or weeks. It is the days or months or weeks or years. How many days will the stock remains with you? How many days it is required to replace the stock? After every how many months you have to replace the stock? Or after how many weeks you have to replace the stock? You have to purchase it in stock. That is called as material turnover index. This is calculated on the basis of number of days or number of months or number of weeks as per given information. According to given information, you take if the problem is based on days, you take the days. If the problem is based on months, you take the months. If the problem is based on years, you take the years and divide by material turnover ratio. Okay. I'll give you an example. One example. Let us consider material consumed during the year is 10,000. Material consumed during the year is 10,000. Okay. Material consumed during the year is 10,000. Then average stock is 2,500. Average stock is 2,500. Then what is material turnover ratio? Material consumed is 10,000. Average stock is 2,500. 10,000 divided by 2,500. Answer is 4. Material turnover ratio is 4. What it mean? 4 means in a year you have to fill or you have to replace the material 4 times. 4 times. 4 times means for every how many months you have to fill up the stock? That means for every 3 months. For every 3 months you have to replace the material. That is called as material turnover index. So if you want to calculate in days, 365 divided by 4. Divided by 4, you will get in days. If you want to calculate in months, there are 12 months in a year. 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3 months. That means every 3 months you have to refill the material. That is the sequence or technique behind this. Okay. This is material turnover index and material turnover ratio. Okay. Next is input output ratio. What is input output ratio? Input means whatever we put in the process of production, that is called as raw material. And output means whatever we take out from the process of production, that is finished product. Input means raw material, output means finished product. Okay. So it is a relation between raw material and finished product, which indicates the relation between the quantity of material used in the production and quantity of our final output. Relation between quantity of material given to the process of production and final quantity of output taken from the process of production. Relation between these two is called as input output ratio. Input output ratio. The main advantages of this are it helps in planning by estimation of output and its raw materials requirement. Suppose you want to produce certain quantity of material. To produce that quantity of material, what is the raw material required? That can be estimated well in advance and planned well in advance. This is the advantage. Second, standard input output ratio acts as guide and control of the material control in the process. If you predetermined this ratio, if this ratio is predetermined and that ratio is useful for controlling your subsequent or future production. Suppose input output ratio is 2:1. For every two quantity of raw material, one is the finished product. Then you directly worker this ratio and he will control the production. That is the second advantage. And it acts as a performance indicator. On the basis of this ratio, predetermined ratio, you can know the performance of the each worker, whether the worker is working efficiently or inefficiently. Okay, it helps in management, in investigation and analysis of variation in the material use. If there is a variation in the material use, what are the causes and what are the problems? You can find out. Then last advantage is cost benefit. Cost benefit analysis can be cost benefit analysis of the business, analysis of use, cost benefit analysis of use of different substitute raw materials is possible. If this ratio is calculated to reduce the cost and take the benefit of that, if there is any substitute material is available, which will increase your finished stock. Okay, that can be ascertained with the help of this ratio. And this ratio is calculated on the basis of input divided by output. It is very simple equation. To write the input means raw material divided by finished product. Okay, this is the equation, and this is the last equation regarding half portion relating to material management. This is half portion. Okay, for this portion, I will take examples. Now I will take the examples related with this portion of syllabus, and remaining portion is issue of material to the production department. I will take afterwards. Okay. You remember, this is the summary of equations for your study purpose. First equation, you have to calculate reorder level. Reorder level is equal to maximum consumption into maximum delivery period. This is the first and important equation. If reorder level is not possible to calculate, then you will not go ahead. Therefore, first you calculate reorder level. First calculate reorder level, then you calculate minimum stock level. In the minimum stock level, ROL is here. So first whatever you calculate ROL, that comes to second equation. ROL means reorder level. Reorder level minus average consumption into average delivery period. Average consumption means maximum plus minimum divided by 2. Average delivery period means maximum delivery period plus minimum delivery period divided by 2. Average you calculate. Okay. And deduct it. ROL minus average consumption into average delivery period. This is second equation, minimum stock level. Maximum stock level is equal to ROL, reorder level from the first equation. ROQ, economic order quantity. ROQ means reorder quantity. Reorder quantity is the economic order quantity. Remember this point. Minus minimum consumption into minimum delivery period. Minimum consumption into minimum delivery period. With this, you will get maximum stock level. And next is average stock level. Average stock level is equal to minimum stock level plus maximum stock level divided by 2. You apply this equation. If information is not available, or minimum stock average stock level is equal to minimum stock level plus half of EOQ, economic order quantity. You apply this. Okay, according to availability of information. Then danger level. Danger level is equal to minimum consumption into emergency delivery period. Okay, you multiply this, you will get the danger level. And next is inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio is equal to cost of material consumed divided by average stock. And material turnover index is equal to number of days or months in a given period divided by material turnover ratio. You apply this. And last is input output ratio. Input output ratio is equal to input divided by output. These are the first part syllabus in material management. I'll take examples on this from tomorrow onwards. And here one more you have to remember, the consumption and delivery period should be in same time unit form. Okay, time unit form. You have to give consideration to this point very carefully. Consumption should be in one time unit, and in the same time unit, delivery period should be given in the problem. Sometimes consumption time unit is different from delivery period time unit. At that time, you have to make the same time unit by converting one into another. For example, average consumption. Consumption is given in days. Consumption is daily consumption. And delivery period is in weeks. Then you don't directly apply the equation. So you have to convert one into another. If the consumption is in days, delivery period should be days. If the consumption is in week, delivery period should be in week. If the consumption is month, delivery period should be in month. This is the point you have to see before solving the problem. Okay, thank you. We'll see the remaining in tomorrow, and tomorrow onwards I'll start the examples.